All right,
Boom, boom,
I hit stream. It's just unfortunately,
boom, boom. We're
you,
live.
well, we should be, but for some reason YouTube is taking, oh, yes, we are live. Excellent. And then as you're all well aware, because Jake screwed up the audio one time, we're back to doing the obligatory audio check.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
At least you know it's working.
Nothing wrong with that, bro.
Trebahano.
With that, bro. Travava?
Trebahano.
I don't, is that some new
Working.
ink? Oh,
Oh, I look
trabajando.
like shit. Let's see. Probably doesn't help. Yeah, you'll have to just. Are you there still?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, just making sure. All right, I am.
And we have audio. Fantastic.
I can't monitor comments.
That's okay, I can. I've got a tablet set up and everything. I'm all
All
fancy
right.
and shit now.
Well, it's not that I don't have strong enough connection.
And so, fun fact, I figured out, did you know that you don't need a Stream Deck in OBS to do all the things we've been doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just make
I
hotkeys.
just thought you just want. I thought you just wanted one to just have to make it easier for yourself.
I mean, yeah, well, actually, the way
When we're
we
sitting
do
in a
it,
studio, it's
yeah,
easier.
yeah, the way we do it, it is easier. But if you're just using Zoom, you just make hotkeys and shit. I felt so stupid.
Hotkeys.
And then hopefully I don't forget the new ones that I discovered for Zoom. Let's see. Boom. All right, I did not. Excellent.
Presumably. Huh.
Oh, oh shit. Nope, I fucked something up. Okay, now we're back. Welcome everybody to the Average Intelligence Podcast. As you can see, this is why we were named the Average Intelligence Podcast. This podcast is brought to you by One Weekend at Horrorland and Leading the Band podcast, which we will touch on a little bit later. But now we got shit to talk about. I thought it was actually it was funny, believe it or not. The first video I saw was from Haley, and I thought it was old. I thought it was older because the first thing I looked for was the date. I thought it might have been from
You thought it was
2020.
the one.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yep. I did
but then
too. I was like,
but the podium said 2024, and I was like, oh, okay. But then after that, I started clicking, and then immediately after I watched it, I got a call from my co-host on Toon Talk, Virus Fox, and he was like, "Are you seeing this?" And I'm like, "I literally just saw it." And then news notification, news notification, news notification. I was like, "Holy shit!" This is now keep in mind, I'd seen him very much alive in the video, so like I didn't think he was dead or anything, but um
oh no. I mean, you, dude, the way he acted, he was just like, he was like, is this real?
well, you know what, and it's very very possible that the bullet didn't even actually make direct contact with him.
Oh, it cut his ear.
I know, but that could have been like what I'm saying is that the bullet itself may not have even hit him. It could have been um, not the shockwave that cut his ear, or it may
It
have
wouldn't be
nicked him.
fragments because it was shot from too far away.
I don't know what kind of gun was used. Well, they said it was an AR style gun, but so, but anyway, that's. I'm glad you said it that way because that made me think we should probably go over what has been. I'm not even going to say what we know because everything that we're talking about has been in news articles because obviously we're not there. And before we get into that, I do want to make special mention. There has been one fatality confirmed thus far, and two more are in critical condition. But firefighter Corey Comparatori or Comparator. I apologize if I mispronounced that. A 50-year-old Pennsylvania native was struck by a bullet during an assassination attempt on Trump. Um, Governor Josh Shapiro of Pennsylvania said during a press conference that he died a hero. His wife shared with me that he dove on his family to protect them when the gunshots were heard. So, um, obviously, our thoughts go out to the family. We do not know them, but based upon this, I can only assume he was an awesome person, and it fucking sucked that some maniac who wasn't even aiming for him, but was trying to kill President Trump, ended up taking an innocent life. And you will notice that we're not blaming the gun.
Weird.
Which what's here's if you could I gotta watch what I say because it could come across as bad. I know you don't know I mean it this way, but what could be construed as not funny but ironic is that I bet you this time the gun control debate doesn't come up at all.
Already did.
Oh, did it really?
Already did. Biden already tweeted about it.
Oh, okay. Well, never
He
mind.
said,
I
"I've
stand
already
corrected.
banned assault weapons. Do we need to go for it or something like that?" I'm speaking out of my ass, but the thing is, he said something about I don't know if he said, "Do we need to go further?" But I did see something about banning assault weapons, and I'm just like, we don't need your blanket terms, motherfucker. We need we need all these people with mental health issues to get help. That's what we need.
Yeah, I don't know that this person had mental health issues unless you've read something I haven't, which I've read a
They
couple of
shot at a
articles.
pres they shot at a prior president. They've got mental health issues.
I don't know that they were mentally well, other than Trump derangement syndrome, which unfortunately is not in the
Who else is
DSM-5.
going to shoot at someone other than anyone with a mental health issue? Because the
So
thing is,
someone who's radicalized, somebody that has really
mental health
dangerous.
issues,
Okay,
mental
okay.
health issues.
I'm talking about like diagnosed.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
care about diagnosed shit, dude. There's so many people out there walking around undiagnosed.
Well, you got a point because another very curious thing is if you noticed on social media, there's a lot of far left, and I'm not even going to say, I don't even think, I don't even want to lump people that are left leaning into this group. I mean, insane people who are like, you had one job and you missed. It's like, okay, so, and the irony of this whole Trump derangement era has been that everything that they've accused Trump of doing or causing, the left has done in some capacity. Literally
So
every, like violence. Really? I don't recall any Trump supporters trying to kill Joe Biden.
So for the last, well, not the last 4 years, but the last, well, let's just say 8 years, the last 8 years, the media trying to smear Donald Trump, and then now someone takes a hit on his life. Shouldn't that be like incitement of violence, like in some way or form? I mean, if they're jumping on him in Congress and whatnot, trying to impeach him over incitement of violence when he didn't even say anything like that. It's like, but yet you got Maxine Waters and whatnot, and all the other Democrats literally talking about how they want to not how they want to. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to put words in anybody's mouth, but what did Maxine Waters say? She's remember
She was
you know
always
exactly what I'm
saying,
talking about.
yeah, she was always saying something about the fact of like harass people in public, go to their
Yeah.
houses, blah 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 blah, that
And
kind of
yet
stuff.
that's the kind of stuff that leads to shit like this, like what wasn't Biden literally just talking about something about a target?
Okay, and
I heard something and I can't find the clip. So
to be fair, and the other
I'm not
thing,
saying Biden put a hit on him, anyone out there. So just
and that's
stupid.
I I think that because if you watch on both sides, there's a lot of rhetoric that anyone with common sense knows nobody's being serious. These are figures of speech, like fight like hell. Um,
That's what we need to get back to and understand their terms, their words. Words
these
don't
are
hurt me.
these are metaphors and
Bullets
hyperbole,
do.
people. But so some of the details we do know. There was somebody on a rooftop, and actually his name has been released, but I'm not going to dignify it. If you want to find it that bad, you can Google it. You'll find it in 10 seconds. 20-year-old male, uh, who apparently, from what I've read, was unemployed, living with his parents. Shocker. Now, I will call out Daily Wire for one thing, because one of the articles I read, first of all, Ben, since when do you release names of shooters? I thought that was your policy that you didn't, but there it was in the article. He was named. So what gives
You know,
with
the funny
that?
thing is, you were literally saying all this, and I thought you were about to name him. I was like, don't give him credit.
Oh no,
Don't
that's
you dare speak that
I'm
fucking piece of shit's name.
I'm not going to, and I had
I know what you
already,
mean. I know what you mean now.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. If you want to find out, it's on Google. You can find it. I was also not
Google it.
I was also not shocked to find out that this person was unemployed and in his 20s and living with his parents. Um, And that's not to dog on people. I know economically speaking, especially for somebody who's 20, I'm frankly, if you're not living with your parents at 20 in today's Biden-led economy, I fucking kudos. You're doing great.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good.
However, there are some common traits among certain people of this ilk, and the fact that he was unemployed, I'm not shocked by. Again, all resentment, all he's mad. And again, this is speculation because obviously I didn't know the guy, but I suspect he was very mad and blamed everyone else for his problems. And Donald Trump was top of the list because he's a bastard for some reason, because he was told that he was a bastard. And instead of, getting out there and trying to make something of yourself, I'd wager to say this person was just mad, pissy. And the other thing I want to call Daily Wire out for, though, is the fact that in the article they were like an individual who donated to far left causes, and I'm like, he donated $15.
Who
Like
did?
the
The
the the guy
kid?
who shot at Trump, yeah,
But he donated?
$15.
It doesn't matter how much.
I mean, but one $15
It was to a
donation,
left leaning. Hold on, hold
yeah,
on. It
yeah,
was
yeah,
to a
yeah,
left
yeah,
leaning pack.
yeah.
So then why do you have left leaning figures on Twitter saying that the kid was a registered Republican?
That from what I can, no, that's not. I read none of
That's what I'm
that.
saying. I know nothing about the kid, and I don't want to know, to be honest with you. And this is like literally all I saw. This was a divide and conquer tactic, and everybody's falling for it once again. Everybody's saying, "Oh, liberals and this and that and this and that." I'm like, yeah. The only thing I'm worried about right now is mental health in this country, like
Well, right,
mental health,
and but
taxes, and war.
right, and no, just because somebody's on the left doesn't mean they're going to perpetrate violence. So
Exactly.
that's what I'm saying. That's why we're not lumping, much like we
No, that's
don't.
why I asked you if it was a left leaning whatever.
It
But
it appears to be, but again, it's just because somebody votes Democrat does not mean that they're a bad person or that they're going to perpetrate violence against anyone, much less a political rival. But um, however,
at this point,
well, the shoe's going to go on the other foot for a second here because it's worth noting that, again, Trump and the Republicans have always been, you know, said that their rhetoric was going to be problematic. Well, it goes for the other side too. Except I would still make the case that if you're talking about normal individuals, rhetoric doesn't escalate this far on any side, at least not today. It's not the early 20th century anymore. But
I know.
it is worth noting that I'm sure this individual heard a lot of the same rhetoric and heard a lot of the same nonsense perpetuated against President Trump, and this is partially the result of that. Now, I'm not
If
blaming.
they were in college.
I don't know. It said unemployed. I don't recall reading whether or not he was a student, but
It would say student. Never mind. That's just
I
stupid.
well, you would think, but again, I've learned to
Actually,
be.
no, they probably wouldn't want that heat.
Yeah, I've learned to be very wary of, especially after, because actually Mac told me, he was like, "What should we do? Should we go live?" And I'm like, "Bro, we don't even know what the fuck happened. Like, we'd just be sitting there spouting nonsense. So let's wait and see." I imagine a lot of stuff will come to light. Um, However, it is also worth noting I'm rolling my eyes for the past day or so because I'm on social media and I'm seeing a lot of conspiracy theories on both sides talking about how the left, some people on the left are saying this is a false flag operation to make Trump look good. And people on the right are saying this was an assassination attempt that can directly be linked to the Democratic Party and Joe Biden. I'm just over here like, I doubt either is true. But it is worth considering because one of the things I thought was I was like, man, I didn't think Donald Trump would necessarily be that, what's the word I'm looking for, badass after being shot. Like most people, I think would freak out a little bit more. You know what I
Dude, he
mean?
literally fought through Secret Service just to fucking like.
I know, and and again, I don't know Donald Trump personally. I've never met the guy.
I wouldn't say
Probably never will.
badass. I would say a little deranged. I'm voting for the guy. I don't care what anyone says at this point, but that was a little deranged to put your head back up. I mean, I know they said the shooter's down, but the thing is, you
That was
never
the next
know.
question. Yeah,
Trump
you
is,
don't, yeah, exactly. Now,
you never
but
know.
okay,
Like,
okay, so there's a part in the back of my brain that was like, okay, if it, and I'm not saying it was, but if this were a false flag operation, wouldn't that be exactly what would be scripted to happen? And again, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that,
what him?
yeah, because I mean, and there was a photographer right there. It's in our thumbnail, and there's even an American flag above.
Of course,
Like,
there's a photographer there. It's a fucking
I
rally.
know. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying. I'm not
I know you're
saying
you're playing devil's advocate, getting all the stuff out there. I mean, it makes sense because I mean, it looks sus,
it's almost a little too perfect. Now,
but
there was a
maybe that's the
fatality.
reason.
Yeah, I know, and so it could be
It
real.
looks too
Although I,
perfect. So the thing is, that they're going to try to spin it around and say that Trump did it. It's like, boy, I tell you what, man, you guys just can't make up your mind on who's to blame.
well, now at the same time though, if I and
It's the
I,
gun. It's the person. It's the gun.
now at the same time though, a thought I had immediately afterward was like, yeah, Trump might be crazy enough to take that risk. I don't think anyone on his staff would be because let's say in this weird alternate version, they it was a false flag operation that they hired somebody to do. What are the chances that person shoots a little bit straighter just because? Like maybe they think they actually just want to take Trump out in the moment because we know they were real bullets. Because that's another reason I don't think it was a false flag
Did you see the
operation is
picture?
because yeah,
That's
yeah.
fucking nuts, dude.
Well, so now Trump has two iconic images for campaign usage: the mugshot and that, and he's missing a chunk of his ear now.
I'm telling you what, right now, it's over. Like they have no fucking chance in winning. And the thing is, if by some chance he doesn't win, dude, this country's gonna rip apart. And I tell you what, how close that bullet was to killing him is how close we were to this country tearing apart. And I mean tearing apart. Everyone's like, "Oh no, nothing would happen." Bullshit, dude. Like people are so crazy over candidates. It wouldn't be hard. Like what was that thing that we used to say? One idiot's not scary, but a group of idiots is scary, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Large people in large numbers, or stupid people in large numbers. I don't know. I had a shirt when we were kids. I can't remember. It's been forever. But I mean, they got to chill. And I say they because this shit's just I don't know. It's weird.
Well, and I
That's all I'm
was
gonna say.
well, and I do this whenever something like I was doing this after the first debate when Biden just completely derailed. I was like, okay, this changes the game. This changes the whole situation. More so for the left in Biden's case because we've been saying this shit for years. And the only thing that changed as far as other people is concerned is the fact that now they can't even lie about it because we saw it happen live on television.
Oh,
You
he's
can't.
not in any danger. Da, 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 da.
It was less than 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, and
talking about Biden.
what's scary is how easy it was for that shooter to literally be in that area. And like he wasn't very far. Like Secret Service was on him quick and they took him down fast. But at the same time, how the hell do you even get off one shot? Like and it hit. Like
Well, if you
I don't
can,
know, man.
so
I'm
like
not I'm
the
not saying it can't happen. I mean shit happens. Obviously it's gonna happen. Some it's just it's bizarre.
he may have been just far enough away. He was very close. Um,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was close and on a building, and he was able to prop himself up and aim.
yeah,
Like,
and 8 shots from what I understand. Which
oh, was it
again,
eight? I thought it was five.
with a semi, it's I'd read 8, but I could be. But with a
No,
semi-automatic
I
weapon,
mean,
getting off
I don't
eight
know.
shots is not. It's him getting set up that's more incredible. But I guess
And I'll say he couldn't shoot straight. I'm not.
no, because from what I
Okay,
understand,
that was
well,
not a joke.
no, from what I understand, he was only like 25 yards away, which
Well, I saw him trying to control the gun because issue one showed him shooting. It just took off. I was like, it's just an AR-15,
Yeah, they
but he
didn't
looked
they
like a
didn't
little
identify
twink,
the
little
specific
bitch.
type of gun. They said AR style, so that could be a number of different things. Um, but yeah, at 25 yards, if you've got any kind of scope, I mean, and I don't consider myself a crack shot, but I can hit targets iron sighted at 25 yards. I
Right.
mean, and it's not like Trump was moving.
No.
Um,
Like I don't know who if it was just a crazy kid or not, or if this was perpetuated, but I mean, it's still just it's a little bizarre. I don't really I don't know.
from from what I understand, it does look like, at least based on what we know now, it does appear that this was a lone actor. So, I mean,
He was
that
a
could
lone wolf.
change.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, they'll probably come out and be like, oh yeah, there was 20 other people, but there was only one shooter in Vegas. Did you hear? You remember the Vegas shootings, right? Years back,
Oh
like
yeah,
many
yeah.
years back, and they were trying to say that there was only like one shooter, and like the people there were like, dude, we heard like shots like all over, everywhere. But I don't know. All I think is a divide and conquer tactic because for one, I already saw people on my own Facebook literally saying, "Oh, it's liberals. If you're a liberal, just go ahead and unfriend me." Da, da, da. I'm just like, this is what they want. They want you guys divided. You're stupid enough to fall for it again. Stop
Well,
falling for
that's how I think we got here in the
it.
first place is because of the rhetoric of, they've been saying for 5 plus years, well, more than five. God, they've been saying it since 2015, which is so ironic to me considering we've already been through a Trump presidency and we're all still alive. How they can keep saying this nonsense, but the left has been saying since 2015 that, oh God, if Donald Trump gets in, it'll be the end of the world, and he's gonna enslave every woman and force them to have babies, and he's gonna put black people back in chains, and he's gonna deport every Mexican or Hispanic person that's
And we need
ever
to
been in the
raise
country.
taxes so high because, I mean, do you see the water level behind me? It's raising as we speak.
I know, man, it must be like what uh it's almost like tides change throughout the day. It's weird.
Weird. It's almost like the moon is, moving. I don't like this camera and this angle. It makes my eyes look huge.
Gravity and
They're either really big or insanely small.
which, by the way, there's a few
There's a
people
track.
watching. Those of you that are watching right now, what do you think? Do you think this was a lone actor, or do you think this is part of some deeper conspiracy? You think it was a well, and here's the funny thing too. So I read earlier today that some lawmakers have proposed increasing Secret Service protection for presidential candidates, and I laughed at that because guess there's a presidential candidate who was denied Secret Service protection. And guess who that was? Ironically,
Robert Kennedy.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And I'm
And the
just
funny
like,
thing is, his family has a track record of being shot.
that's what I said. He even pointed out, he was like, yeah, my last name's Kennedy, and they denied me Secret Service protection. It's like, okay, because that makes sense. Hopefully that changes now because I guess he had mentioned
I don't think
on,
he has any worry.
well, no, but I mean, it's the principle of the thing. I agree. I think if you're running for president, you should have Secret Service protection because why risk
Everybody
it?
can run. I mean, all right, listen. If you make it through a few, uh, what do you call them? What you blah, that thing. My goodness, dude, I can't speak
If
anymore.
they poll
Anyway,
high
so
enough.
well, if they make it through a few and they're not the nominee, but like there's three or four of them. That I mean, we can't just be giving Secret Service to 25 different people who are running for president because that shit's expensive.
Okay, but
You can
here,
pay for your own security. You're getting donations and you're getting people, so you can pay for your own security.
well, but here's the thing, it's not fair, and
Former
here's
presidents have
but
Secret Service.
yeah, yeah, but here's why it's not fair though. So take RFK Jr. for example. So he is having to take some of the money that's raised for his campaign to pay for private security. Joe Biden and Donald
as he
Trump are
should.
not.
If he didn't run, he wouldn't have to worry about that. And I'm
Well,
not saying he
I
should. I'm not
know,
saying he shouldn't. I'm just saying
but that's what I'm
this
saying.
this is the
So
problem
Trump,
where we have in this country. Things aren't free.
I know, I think you're missing the point I'm making though. So
No,
Donald Trump and Joe
I absolutely
Biden,
get the point you're making.
but they don't
I'm just
have
sorry.
that expense, whereas
Uh-huh.
they don't have that expense, whereas RFK Jr. does, and it's just another ploy, in my opinion,
Who
to
doesn't?
keep RFK
Former
Jr.
presidents?
No, RFK Jr., who's running for president, does not have
Yeah,
Secret
but he's
Service
not a former
protection.
president, is what I'm saying.
It
So
doesn't
I don't
matter.
think.
No, but here's the thing, though. Donald Trump had Secret Service protection when he was running in 2015.
Did he?
Yeah, because presidential candidates get Secret Service protection, except for smaller ones.
Yeah. Okay. 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 So that's kind of what I was going about. Was if he got it, then why didn't Robert Kennedy get it?
Because their excuse was he's not polling high enough. But it's like, well,
That makes
A,
sense.
that's not true. Um, and B,
Say Trump
I
was polling really high in 15.
Donald Trump's Silence of the Lambs. What do you mean by that, Gary?
Silence of the Lambs. That's what it sounds like when he goes out to the barn.
Although, one thing though, Shane Gillis got proven wrong.
What?
Trump didn't make a funny noise.
Ah! You son of a bitch. Dude,
That
this
just
has to
hit
be a
me.
short immediately.
That just
Like
hit me.
this podcast ends, you cut that up and you see you tag Shane Gillis. Ah! Damn, man.
He,
Straight to hell.
Trump is also like Master Splinter now. He's missing a chunk of his ear.
Dude, he literally is just like this. He's just
Yeah, and that's the thing. But here's the thing, and this is another
like he
reason.
was just like, is this real?
Well, this is another reason I think it's legit because thankfully, I've never experienced this, but I know some people that have who have been shot or stabbed, and a lot of them say the same thing that like when it initially happens, it's like they feel something, but they're kind of confused by it. Like one of my instructors talks about how a time he got stabbed in the back of the head with a screwdriver, and he didn't know he'd been stabbed until after the fight, and he was like, he's like, I felt something
Did it
warm on
fix
my
him?
neck. No, actually, it's funny.
All right.
If he hadn't moved, he probably would have died because he moved ever so slightly and it caused it to graze instead of go in. But he was talking about how like he's like, yeah, I didn't feel any pain, but I felt something warm on my neck and it felt weird, and then I reached back and saw all the blood, and that's how I knew I'd been stabbed. And then
Damn.
I knew another guy who'd been stabbed in the stomach, and very much the same thing. He was like, I didn't realize it till afterwards, and then it hurt like a motherfucker. But in the moment, I didn't realize it. So I bet Trump just heard something and then kind of felt weird. And then
Yeah, that makes sense. That's
Gary,
like, dude, that's terrifying.
Gary says again, Chinese whispers, it's quite eerie what's happening to American politics today. You keep speaking in riddles.
It's the same shit. It's always been stupid.
Yeah, for
American
real.
politics, like, if anyone thinks they're going to be smarter watching it or even getting involved in it truly,
If
it's
anyone
really
thinks they're gonna be
stupid.
smarter, that's funny.
It's literally a measuring game. That's all it is.
Yeah, it really is. Now, going back to what you said before, though, I think this is gonna. I think it's over, dude. I mean, I'll be honest. I think it's over for the Democratic Party in this election because even if they get Joe Biden out, which I don't think they will, but even if they do,
They don't have enough time to get
who's
somebody in.
they don't have anybody. Who are they gonna get?
Robert Kennedy said he would front run it. That's why I don't like him.
I think
Well,
he's
and
about
I
to.
don't know if that's true. I haven't found the
No, he
clip.
did. I've seen the clip. I've seen the clip and I've
Yep.
seen it.
No.
I think he's their only shot, but even he won't work. You know why? Because they spent the last 2 years trashing him almost as bad as Trump.
Yeah, but him saying, I'll run your front. I'm like, dude, that's pathetic. Fuck that.
Well, I mean,
No.
he started as a
I know
Democrat.
what he's doing. He's just. I mean, honestly, if he got in, I wouldn't be upset because the dude's obviously, got a decent head on his shoulders.
I
But
also
I
think
just
it
don't like
was,
that he's quick to just be like, oh yeah, I'll be the
well,
puppet.
I also think it was more tongue in cheek than anything because he knows they're not gonna.
Oh, okay.
They've
Well,
made
that's fair.
that's speculation. Like the way he said it, because I know what clip you're talking about. It was very much like a you've got my phone number. I got more
Oh,
sarcasm
man.
out of it. Actually, he was
I
right.
know you said he's gotten better.
He's
Well, the more
gotten
he
way
talks,
better.
he's only going to get better at it.
I
What did you
That's
say
another
he had?
reason.
What happened?
I can't remember. It was something, and I apologize. I don't remember, but
It wasn't a stroke, was it?
no, 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 no. It was
It was
shit.
something to do with the vocal cords,
Yeah,
paralyzation of the vocal cords or something like that.
something like that. But
Yeah,
anyway, but yeah,
no.
he did say pretty early on that the more he talks, the better it sounds. So I think the best thing for his health would be to be president of the United States because he'd have to speak often. He already sounds way better. Like honestly, I'll be honest, if I didn't know he had issues before, I'm not sure I would pick up on it now. Like if I was exposed to him today, I don't know that I would pick up on it all that much. Not like it was before. So by the end of a 4-year term, he might be completely back to normal.
Uh-oh. I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't think he has a shot for 24, but if he keeps his everything going, I definitely see 2028. And if he has some good policies, I definitely give him the benefit of the doubt.
I think I and again, I like siding with the underdog. It's very Rick Blaine of me, but anyway, I don't think you'll see him as president because
I
I
don't think
think
he's an
his
underdog really because he's got a fucking famous name.
well, yeah, but even most of his family's
He
against
should
him.
be able to get support like that just because of his name.
It's because of his policies, though. He has some very well. If you asked a '90s,
Centrist policies. I
well,
know,
if
scary.
if you if you asked a '90s Democrat, they'd be right in line with a lot of what he's saying.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the modern Democratic Party, his positions are far too radical for the Democrats, but they're right in line with, moderates because it's like, yeah, you know what? I kind of do think the government should look into, how these food companies are fucking lying to us about what's in our food and how there's
Or
obvious,
all the chemicals in our
well,
food
there's,
and
like I said, there's
why people in
obvious,
Italy can eat like fat people and yet we can't and literally we're starving and but yet our country's fat as fuck. Like let's make sense, guys.
well, and there's
Like
obvious
if you see a
collusion.
morbidly obese person and they're literally talking about eating and whatnot, they say they barely eat anything. And I'm like, yeah, because you're eating processed food. Just eat meat and vegetables and
Well,
fruit.
yeah, but
You're
but you
fine.
can't even get away with the processing and some of that stuff. And so
Yeah.
my biggest thing about the food we're eating is it has reached a point where now people, for a lot of things, can't even make good choices if they want to because the options aren't there. Like you can't even avoid
They're there, they're
pesticides in
just
your food.
expensive.
Well, even then, it's still because some of that stuff you can't avoid, and because everybody's like, "We'll buy organic vegetables." Dude, it's way too easy, and some of the shit they use in organic farms could be as harmful as the other.
Grow your own.
I mean, yeah,
Quit
but that's
buying
not
from the
feasible.
store. It's not
That's
hard.
that's not feasible if you live in an apartment, though.
True. But the thing is, that's why you network and you have friends who have gardens and you get zucchinis and
I was
stuff
gonna
like
say,
that.
by the way, I ate one of those zucchinis today.
Dude, they're so good. I
It
love
was.
zucchini. Like literally, my wife always sautés them up with the yummy butter and
It
pepper.
was it was very
Lots of
good.
pepper.
It was very good, and I had a couple of the eggs, bro.
Yeah,
So
they're pretty
good.
deep. Well, we're building a chicken coop too. So, well, I mean, I'm going to. So we're gonna have some chickies over here.
You got the perfect plot for it. You just gotta,
Chickens. I just got to be able to make sure I can walk in a couple years.
yeah. Well, you gotta make sure that you keep coyotes out because you're also in prime coyote real estate. But
It's not that bad over here,
I was
really.
gonna say you're close. You're close to
Because
a major road, so.
well, around our entire property, we have a fence,
Okay.
but because of the fields, the fields
Yeah,
are
yeah.
actually all fenced in behind me, so no animals can get in there other than smaller animals. But the fields in front of me are not. And I was talking to my wife about this. I was like, man, I was like, what happens if I like come out late at night and I don't turn on a light and there's just a coyote there? She's like, well, they travel in packs. I was like, shut up.
No, they don't. They're solitary.
Coyotes?
Coyotes are solitary. Yeah, for the most
Oh,
part.
they travel in packs too, just
No,
like
not
wolves.
No, not normally. Coyotes are usually solitary.
Well, see, then I'm right. I ain't trying to get eaten. Well, I mean, at least
Well,
kick
and
one off.
and and
Unless they're like a tiny dog.
to be fair, most coyotes would you've probably been much closer to one than you thought, but they tend
I
to not
mean,
fuck with people directly.
we found a coyote. You and I believe,
Oh
we found
yeah.
a coyote lair like when we were little kids,
Oh yeah, where we
and
live,
that was
coyotes are everywhere. Dude, I've kicked a coyote in the face before.
canine kicker.
Well, fuck that. It was trying to lunge at my dog.
Oh shit! What
Yeah.
was that?
Oh God,
That's
that was years ago with Cisco.
oh Cisco, man. I remember him. He was cool.
Best fucking dog ever.
With his he was missing his bones and his paw, right?
It one of his front legs had been broken when he was a puppy and it never got set, so
Oh,
it healed, but it healed wrong, so it
yeah,
was
I
just kind of
remember.
there.
Dude,
Yeah.
he was vicious for a little doggy.
He's a little asshole.
Yeah. Do you still have those recordings, or is
Oh God,
that
no.
laptop gone?
No, that
That
laptop's
sucks.
long gone.
Man, like we don't people don't think to save recordings and stuff like this, like when you're kids, save everything, dude. Because
Save it
when you have
all.
all that stuff and you go back and just, dude,
It's
just
way easier to do now though, because back then those recordings were
yeah,
massive compared to like you couldn't save all that stuff. And we didn't have flash media like we do now. Flash storage,
that's
not flash
true.
media. Yeah,
That is
now that's easy. Um, but yeah, so what I was saying earlier is I was saying the Democrats, I'll be honest, I've never
oh wow, we got
been
off on subject.
that's okay, it happens on the Average Intelligence podcast, but I'm never one to say that it's a sure thing, and I'm still not saying it's a sure thing because we never know what's going to happen. But I think if the status quo stays the same now, I think Trump's got it in the bag. I don't think the Democrats, because like I said, even if they get Joe Biden out, which he's not going anywhere, he said as much. The only reason he's going somewhere is if he decides he doesn't want to run anymore, he dies, or there's some backdoor coercion that we'll never find out about because even if that happens, he's just going to come out and say that, "Mm,
Or Haagen Dazs is having a 2-for-1 spell. So
Donald Trump and I had a conversation. She and I decided that we should just go to Baskin Robbins. Anyway,
you know the thing.
which by the way, oh my God, did you watch any of his big boy press conference?
I refuse. Like I'm so done. I'm so done with it. Like everything he says, he's just like, "Oh, everything's doing good and everything's getting cheaper." I'm like, "Where?
Well,
Where?"
if you had watched it, you would have seen him refer to Vice President
Sasha did,
Kamala,
and she filled me in.
yeah, Vice President Trump, and I wouldn't have picked her if I didn't think she was up for the job.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, did you hear CNN point blank ask him at the end of it? He's like, earlier this evening you referred to Kamala Harris as Vice President Trump. Do you think this is an issue with the media reporting this on you and saying you're not fit for presidency? And he's just like, anyway.
Ask him. Yeah, because they can't even lie about it anymore. And then he would go on to, or I'm not sure which happened first. Um, he introduced President Zelensky as President Putin, like to the guy's face. Like, come on. And that's why CNN's jumping on,
Zelensky, the auto parts king.
but that's why CNN is jumping on this now because even they can't defend it because that debate, I think that debate was a bigger turning point than Trump getting shot at, by the way, because that debate put front and center live on actually with a with a 2 minute delay put on live television that the guy is just cognitively not there. And I agree with many people who've said something, to the effect of, I think it's wrong that the powers that are putting him out there are letting him or making him, depending on what's going on. Because,
Dude, it's just it's perfect for them. That's all it is. And I'm not gonna go in any further on that. It's just perfect for them.
well, I mean, again, we've talked for years on this podcast about the hubris of the left, about how they honestly believe they can do no wrong, and well, the chickens are home and they're looking to roost. So
Well, I love it too. Like when you get a leftist who doesn't know history, and then they literally they start asking them questions.
none
I
of
can't
them know
remember.
history, dude. None of them,
Well,
because
and
if
then
they
they
did,
ask,
they
they're
wouldn't
like
be on the left.
talking about the KKK and this stuff and Lincoln and whatnot, and they're all just like they're all Republican.
Oh,
And then
the
everybody says this
KKK.
big switch and stuff like that, and it's like from my point of view, I feel like Republicans for the last 20 years, up until like the last five, because for some reason accountability finally got put in their laps. But for the past 20, 30 years, they were all about money and getting rich. And, honestly, that's the way it should be. Make money and tell the government fuck off. That's the American way.
Well,
But
but that used to be a Democrat position, but then somewhere along the way, and I don't know that
oh
I can
no, they
point out.
still make money. Don't worry.
Well,
They
no,
just make
but somewhere along the line, the Democratic Party figured out that getting in bed with the government and private businesses together is a great way to make money. So because at least the
perfect
Republican,
embezzling.
well, because the Republican position to me is much more ideal because if you tell the government to leave private businesses alone, it gets out of their way, but it doesn't make the bed for them. Whereas what the Democrats are doing is, and they're not even calling for it by name, but if you look at a lot of the policies they're trying to put out there, it's very much like scratch our back, we'll scratch yours. Because when you do things like raise the minimum wage to $25 an hour, like some places are proposing, that doesn't hurt small businesses. I'm sorry, that doesn't hurt big businesses as much as it
It
hurts small
hurts small
businesses.
businesses.
Because the big business is just artificial
Not
intelligence.
true,
Okay,
actually. Not
what?
true, actually, because it doesn't not hurt big businesses because
Right,
there
but they
was
just pass
actually
it. They can eat it. It's the Walmart model.
well, no, they can't eat it. In California, literally a McDonald's already closed because of
But
it.
but those are small businesses because most McDonald's are
I
actually
know
not
they're
corporate
franchise,
stores.
but
They're
the thing is, it's
franchises.
McDonald's.
But it doesn't matter because
No,
the
people are gonna
franchisor.
still come, is what I mean. But the thing is, like, if you have to pay a fucking 15, 16-year-old $20 an hour who knows nothing and is burning everything, and you have to replace all the food,
Well,
it's
you're just
like,
gonna not hire them. You're gonna hire
well, no,
other
you
people.
gotta
But
train people.
yeah,
Somebody's not gonna come in knowing what they're, knowing how to fucking do everything right away. They have to get trained up, and
no. But
it's
what I mean by that is so like let's and the Main Street's already been killed. So we don't. This is a road that's already been tread before. But like take my store for example. If the minimum wage goes up, and to be fair, based on where we are, we pay well above well above double the minimum wage because we have to. That's just what the work base requires. Because honestly, if you're trying to pay somebody minimum wage where our store is, like nobody's going to work for you, not even a 16-year-old. They're going to fucking laugh in your face because they can go get $18 at Chipotle or
and
probably for a
not give
16
anyone any food.
for a 16-year-old it's more like 14, but you get what I mean, right? But certainly somebody in their 20s, like the new minimum wage realistically is $14 an hour.
I mean, the new standard of living is $14 an
That's
hour.
what I'm
The
saying.
minimum
It's not.
wage is should not.
I know.
I
I mean
mean,
the de facto minimum wage though. The wage
I
that you
know,
can
but
offer people as an entry level. But anyway, so
just fix the fucking deficit. Like, damn, fix the deficit. Like, fix
well,
the
and
deficit.
but
That's a problem.
here's the problem though. They've kicked the can so far down the road that now even if you have somebody that had, which actually Trump might, because it's his last term and he's not going to run for reelection again. So he might actually have, I don't think he will based on the economic policy that he's rolled out. I think the economy will get better, but I don't think he's going to fix the deficit
No, there's
because
no way.
that's,
It's too far gone for right now. It's going to
well,
take you
no,
at least 15, 20 years to get it.
but 15, 20 years of consistent policy, and that's not going to happen because unfortunately to fix the deficit, you are going, you, at this point, if you're going to fix the deficit, there's going to be negative economic consequences short term. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants to go through a period of suffering for 5 years to have 50 years of prosperity because they don't give a
Dude,
shit about the future. They care about right now.
Democrats are like that abusive boyfriend who cheats all the time and literally gets better for a little bit and then wants to come back and say,
But
I'm
it's
better
but
now. I'm
but it's
better
but
now.
it's but it's not just the Democrats because the Republicans don't have the will because the okay, so the Democrats want to keep spending on entitlements and the Republicans want to cut taxes. The truth is you have to stop doing both of those to the degree that we have. And unfortunately, at least short term, you are going to have to raise taxes. Now, who you raise taxes
No, there
on,
is no
yeah,
fuck taxes
you
at this
have
point.
to. How
I
are you
tell
going to
you what,
generate the
if
revenue?
fuck the revenue, fuck the social programs. I'm serious. I'm serious, dude. Shut everything
I
down
too, but
except
how
Social
are you gonna?
Security and well, because the thing is, dude. All right, listen. This is a problem. Most people on food stamps look at the obesity rate.
I mean, fair,
Why are you
fair.
fat?
Well, to be honest, I
You
think
know,
one thing.
the too many people fucking take advantage of I'm going to say our social programs because you want to get down to it. I mean, they are a
Well,
safety net. So,
I read a staggering statistic. Did you know that? Damn it, I can't remember the number now, but an alarming percentage of food stamps, uh, SNAP benefits are spent on soda. Like I think
well,
it's
and
some.
also it's not what we were talking about earlier with the food. They're screwed either way because the thing is, if you have food stamps, you only have so much a month, so you got to kind of eat. So they're buying junk that's cheap.
Right,
Therefore,
that's
there's no
just it. It's
nutrition,
cheap.
so they're getting fatter. So, but I mean, it's still milking the welfare system.
Well, but also, and again, like I agree, there's a lot of abuses of the welfare system, but then plus the fact too that a lot of these giant companies are getting subsidies for selling us poison. Like,
Yeah, and
I
getting
mean,
patted on the back for it. Oh,
yeah,
thanks.
almost 7% of all SNAP users spent, I'm sorry, almost 7% of all SNAP money goes to carbonated soft drinks. Well, and here's an interesting thing. So that percentage is actually higher for people on SNAP versus the general average shopper, which is 4.38%. So not only are people on SNAPs like statistically spending more money on soda, it's not even their money. So, but
Yeah.
I think one of the things you could do without cutting people off of it, you could completely reform the SNAP program to it would be a bitch, and that's why nobody does it because now everybody's got it on a preloaded card. But like, actually give them fucking coupon vouchers for nutritional
You want to
fucking
know what
food.
would fix all this and it would actually make it easier? So, I mean, if the government like really just for some reason they just love to be in everybody's fucking business and have their hands in their pockets and everything like this, and um, if they really want to cut down on SNAP issues, start building your own grocery stores that only sell food and the card is only able to be used there. You would cut down so much on people abusing the system that it would make sense to pay for those stores.
But again, so
Because the thing is, you have to show ID with your food stamp card in order to pay for your food when you go to cash out. Therefore, that eliminates all fraud other than people, going out and then just, here you go, here's your
that
food
is
out of my
then how are
cart,
then
you
how do
know.
people? I don't think that's true. Then how do people sell food stamps? It's people do.
That's yeah, I kind of stuck my foot in my mouth. I said
Oh
that.
no, I'm asking. Maybe you knew something
They,
I
they,
didn't.
they,
Maybe
they
that's
could
an issue.
literally pay for the food and then walk out and then still sell it to the people, like be like they just give them a list and they walk in and pay for
Oh,
it and then
maybe. Yeah, maybe that's how
come
they.
out and there's like
I
here's
don't
your
know.
money
I thought
for it.
maybe I didn't think you had to show your
It's
ID.
stupid. Like I don't know. There's
Well,
no
because
good way to fix any of this.
that would be racist though. If you have to show your ID to use your SNAP
I
benefits,
mean, I know. I
because
don't understand. Like
we
that
all
makes
know
no
that
sense.
we all know that black people can't get an ID for some
Yeah, and they don't
reason.
have smartphones according to many I'm not gonna say Democrats, but those people in the videos. I don't know what they are. They're stupid.
Never mind the fact that the homeless man that I help out occasionally has a fucking cell phone, but yeah,
Yeah. Cell
whatever.
phone generally got a nice backpack, and stuff like this. I
I'll be actually, you know what's funny? He's not on any government assistance. You know why? Because
is he a
he
vet?
no.
Oh, okay.
he can't get an ID because he doesn't have a permanent address. They require you to have a permanent address, and I'm like, that's the fucking stupidest thing I've ever heard.
So when the police say, "Oh, like something happens," and they say, "We need to see your ID," be like, "Well, I can't get it. They
That's what he
told me
tells them.
this," I just be like, "Well, do you have that in writing?" Because they can't say no to an
A
ID because you can
per
get it printed there.
a Pearl Girl says they sell the stamps and shop with them. I see it all the time. Follow them and watch them check out. Can
Oh,
you
I'm not
tell
talking
us?
about now. I'm talking about how my
No, no,
hypothetical
we
store
have. I know
heard of it.
we have a comment though because now I want to know because I'm not in the loop with this. Can you explain to me how like do you know if they have to show your ID to use food stamp? I'm sure it might vary by state too, but it's a federal program, or at least I
No,
think it is.
they gave Dean they gave my son
Yeah, she said
a
nope.
what was it? Yeah, I would say they gave my son an EBT card for the summer. Apparently, it was some kind of program where they gave him like $120 for lunch throughout the summer. You don't need any ID for that. You just put in your code. Well, you make your PIN, and anybody could get it, dude. It just came in the mail.
Are you seriously?
Yeah. Now,
That's
granted, you have to
interesting.
call to get it set up, but literally, you just call, type in numbers, and then put in a PIN code. I'm just like, so if anyone got to my mail and got that card, all
They
they'd have
could
to
have
do is set
just
that up.
well now and
Weird.
what a Democrat would say, well, that's a felony, and it is, but much like so the
Crimes
defense.
don't stop thieves, people.
Well, no, but and see, here's the thing, because Biden himself has been on record saying things like, "No, we don't need to stiffen penalties for voter ID fraud because, or not voter ID fraud. I'm illegally entering the country because it's already a crime." And it's like, well, yeah, but clearly it's not being enforced. And listen, like I get
Well, and
this
there was
every
other
time.
stipulations in that bill too.
Yeah. Well, and that's why they didn't vote for it, right? But I get lumped into this as, every time I talk about illegal immigration, I usually get the same shit. It's like, oh, so you're against immigration? God damn it, no. I fucking love people that want to come to the United States to have a better life because as much as you
He
people shit on
does.
it, well,
Really,
because, yeah,
he
really,
loves them.
but as much as you people shit on the United States, the fact remains hundreds and thousands of people still come here every year for a better life
Weird.
because they fucking know. They know the truth. And there's a reason why. Now, I admit, I'll be the first to admit, the immigration system in the United States is a clusterfuck, but that's probably because there are so many people trying to get in. Now, do I think it can be fixed? Yeah. Do I think it's easy? No. Do
And
I
you're not gonna
think, and
fix it by just saying yes to everybody.
well, yeah, exactly. And I also think that they're
That's
not going to
essentially
fix
what's
it.
happening.
Well, I also don't think they're going to fix it because both parties use it as an issue to run on.
Well, no, they eventually want to figure out a way to turn them into voters. Like, I mean, literally, California was already talking about wanting to do it. So was New York. Like, and people are
Yeah.
like, "Oh, they're not trying to do that." It's like, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
they
they
are.
are.
Yeah, they are.
Like, it's
Um,
like, are you guys really this dumb? I don't know
Pearl
why I keep pointing to this tree.
Pearl says they go shopping with the card holder. They pick what they buy in the cart, and when they check out, the card holder has a number. The card is full automatically. Yeah, okay, but no ID. Got it. But
It
yeah,
probably also varies state by state.
I'm not
Well,
sure
actually,
actually.
isn't Snap federal? Yeah, Snap's federal.
I think no, I think because I see it's somehow some way affiliated with the state because I've seen the Snap cards in Indiana and it's got the Indiana.
Supplemental new. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I haven't seen one for a long time,
Okay, hang
except
on.
for the one thing we got, but it was white with black numbers.
Okay, hang on. Benefits. That's another problem. So like we don't even know where the money's coming from directly. We know where it's coming from, but we don't know how it's being filtered. Federal or state. Because what it probably is the federal government gives them the money. Okay, yeah, exactly what I thought. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program is a federal program that is administered at the state level. So it's a federal program, but they basically give the money to the states and then the states filter it out because, they got to make shit complicated and somebody's got to take their cut somewhere. Wink, wink, hint, hint.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the ways Walmart stays rich is and again, I will defend Walmart because I believe at one point they were the largest employer in the United States. I don't think they are anymore. But there's stories going around about how a lot of the people that work at Walmart are on food stamps, and I mean that's true, but it's also not a very hard
I
job.
also want to ask, like, what do they, and the thing is, like, I'm sorry, a person shouldn't have to work 60 hours a week to just survive. Like, but if you're working 40 hours a week and you're struggling, you might need to be spending else, on certain other things,
Son of a
not
bitch.
spending, overspending on certain things. Because
Check.
most people that overspend have in habits.
Okay, speaking of overspending though, check check this out. This is Yahoo Finance.
Was it the
Overall,
White House 2025 predictions?
no, 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 about the largest employer in the United States.
Oh,
This will show you the problem. Overall, the federal government is the largest employer in the United States as of September 2023, with approximately 2.95 million individuals as part of the U.S. federal workforce.
wow.
Now, that's as of 2023. Okay, now I'm going to go to the list here so that we can. Where the fuck is it?
That's ridiculous.
That's insane. Come on. Where the fuck is. I want to read the whole article, you ass. Oh, there it is. Okay. No. Yahoo Finance, your website sucks. Oh, come on. Okay. I think we found it. Oh, god damn it. Really?
Damn, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
Darn it.
Okay. Jeez. Too many.
Jeez
No, I
Louise.
don't want to. I don't want to go to homes.com. I want to read the fucking article. There we go. Now we're getting there. Okay, here we go. Okay, so other than the federal government, Walmart is still the number one employer with two million
They need
one
to get some
hundred.
people on those registers then.
For real, right?
What's the point of having all those registers anymore? Get rid of them. Like,
Well,
damn, save some fucking room in the walk space.
for
Like, you ever
for
go to Walmart and like you can't even walk because they got shit in the aisles? I'm like, get rid of these registers. You don't use them.
well, and leave it to Walmart to they've in a lot of their stores they've unveiled a lot more they've unveiled a lot more. They've put in a lot more of those self checkouts, and they took something that made fucking sense and they made it 10 times more complicated. And I fucking laugh because in every store, half the time, literally half of the self checkouts are out of order and not fucking working. It's Jesus Christ, people. Um,
Cheese and rice.
Pearl says, I feel sorry for the children that don't eat. They will have robots to fill the shelves soon. Yeah, fucking probably. But anyway, so there's Walmart, and then the number two employer in the United States is Amazon with 1,500,000. Then we have the U.S. Postal Service, which is another government entity, but apparently these do not count as federal government employees, although I don't know how that's possible. So I'm going to assume that that is part of the 2,950,000 government employees, federal government employees, which that doesn't include state
United
employees, by the way.
States Postal Service. How is that not
Oh
government?
no, I'm
It's they
sorry.
literally.
I'm sorry. I misread. It's UPS. It's United Parcel Service.
Oh,
I apologize.
okay.
So I
Wow,
misread.
that's crazy.
So yeah, that answers the question. Federal employee, U.S. Postal
So
Service
actually, if you
employees,
think about it, since you said 1.25 million work in the government,
2.95 million.
2.95 million. So therefore, the United States Postal Service is probably factored into that.
Yeah, it would be.
So
But
UPS is the second compared
third,
to, well, no, third.
yeah,
Dude, that's crazy.
and FedEx is fourth with 529,000.
FedEx,
And number five is the Home Depot,
the Home Depot.
which is
I don't know why I repeated
hilarious
that.
because I don't know about you, but every time I go into Home Depot, I can't find a motherfucker anywhere.
I don't go to Home Depot.
I try not
We
to.
uh we went to Menards or Lowe's, and honestly, I don't like Lowe's either. It feels like the Walmart of the
The home improvement
uh
world, yeah.
home improvement stores, and I don't like Home Depot. Like I don't know, it just feels weird.
I find Home Depot generally has better price. It depends on what you're looking for, but I found that Home Depot has better prices. And I like Menards in the sense that there's usually staff there, but I'm sorry, the way they lay out their stores makes no fucking sense. I can never find anything.
How you have to go in? Like you, like I understand, an entrance and exit, but at the same time, you guys are treating it like you're terrified somebody's gonna walk in the exit. Like I do it all the time I think it's Menards. I literally there in Columbus, I would go in the exit and
Yeah.
leave the exit. I was like, I'm not parking over here to walk all the way across here.
Oh yeah,
Like
no, dude, and I do it all the time. It's like, fuck you. I'm not gonna do
I
this.
have
This is
my I
stupid.
have my parking for there for a reason.
Yeah. Do you want to hear the top 20?
Sure.
All right, number six is Target.
Fuck Target.
Number seven is Kroger, and then number eight is United Health Group Incorporated. Next is Berkshire Hathaway. That's interesting. So
Really?
that's number 10 is Starbucks. I figured they would be higher with 381,000 employees.
You
Now,
ever
okay,
go
so
there? Takes
with
forever to get a drink.
well, they're making coffee though. It's fucking
Yeah, they're making coffee. It's brain science, so it
but it,
takes them
well,
10 minutes to
it's
make one.
no, I shouldn't say coffee because that's not true. But a lot of the drinks they make have a lot of different steps, and they got to steam milk and do
I
other shit
know.
and
That
pray to
that
the
shit that
goddess
shit just cracks me up. I'm like, who the hell is that invested in coffee?
and
Like,
pray and they have to pray to the goddess Ishtar on Tuesdays. Like
drink a
fuck.
Coke.
No, don't do that.
Oh wait,
Shit'll
no,
kill you.
don't drink a Coke. Never mind, my bad.
I'm not in recovery.
Shit, though,
Don't
the
say
thing
drink in
is
front of
though,
me.
when some you said Coke.
God damn it. Actually, dude, actually the last couple of days I have had not
Crazy.
not crazy cravings, but I like even this morning I woke up and I was like, fuck, you know what? That would be nice, but I still haven't yet. I haven't
Let me ask you a
cracked.
question on that before you continue. When you're having your cravings with your Coke, are you eating stuff that you used to drink your Coke with?
Uh, not oh okay, I think I understand your question. But no, okay, so no, that's not why, but what's really interesting about that is I have found that I'm eating less of those kinds of foods now that I'm not drinking Coke.
Oh, well, I was gonna say if you were eating just like certain types of trigger foods, not like bad foods. I'm
Oh,
talking like
dude, I'll,
you're eating a
I'll
cheeseburger or something like
yeah,
that, and you
yeah,
just want a Coke with a cheeseburger.
I
Like
was gonna I was
obviously
gonna say I even had a
you got to trick your
cheeseburger.
brain.
Yeah. Well, no, I had a burger and fries last night, and I was even thinking I'm like, fuck, a Coke would go great with this, but I got a mango lemonade instead, which I know everybody. I've had so many people say the same thing. It's like, well, that's got just as much sugar. Yeah, I get that, but I'm drinking much less of that kind of stuff. I might have one of those like every 3 weeks.
You're not gonna have three sodas in one night. You're having one of those every so often. I get you.
Yeah, yeah. So
Like
that's the
because if you have a
difference.
Coke, like I'll get two, three refills if I'm sitting there at the restaurant.
Precisely. Yeah. Number 11 is Marriott International. Number 12 is Cognizant Technology Solutions. Oh, they're an IT consulting business with 355,300 employees. Number 13 is Walgreens. 14 is TJX companies. I think this is TJ Maxx. No, I take that back. Oh, yes. So, well, no, hang on. Oh, Marmax Home Goods. So yeah, this is like TJ Maxx and home goods stores. Costco is number 15, and number 16 is
In bulk
Pepsi.
is your. Oh,
Yeah, number 16, not bad. 17 is Concentrix Corporation, and they are. This is a fucking money laundering operation because offers business services focused on customer engagement and business performance. The company offers businesses customer support services through different media channels. So I just read a paragraph and I still don't know what the fuck this company does. Number 18 is Lowe's. Number 19 is CVS. And number 20 is HCA Healthcare. So yeah, that's the top 20 employers in the United States. And Pearl hit us with a comment. In our school here, a little boy's shoes were leaking and got together and bought shoes for the child. He came back the next day with old shoes. We asked what happened to your new shoes, and the mom sold them online.
that's
See,
fun,
well, and I'm
man.
I'm not sure, but that seems like there's a neglect charge in her future for that.
Sounds like culture,
Yeah, that sounds like there might be a neglect charge for that one.
bro. How in the fuck? How do you do that to your kid? How do you do
Because
that to your kid, dude? I would bring back bullying. Bring it back. I'm telling
well,
you what, like, we
well,
didn't grow up soft. We had people fucking calling us shit and doing the, whatnot. It's like, get out of here, man.
and
Bring back bullying people.
unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that are shitty people, and unfortunately, having children doesn't change that for them.
Some people don't deserve kids.
Yep. But
I'll
what I
say
was
it
saying,
again.
what I was saying earlier is, let's look at the list of potential Democratic candidates other than Joe Biden, and realistically, none of them can beat Trump realistically, because like who we got? We got Kamala Harris, who I think would perform worse in a general election than Joe Biden would even. You've got people like Gavin Newsom, who, I mean, on
He's
paper,
confused.
well, but
He's
on
confused by the
paper, Gavin Newsom looks good, but then all you have to do is talk to people that fled California and be like,
oh,
"Why'd you do
kind of
that?"
like Bill Maher. Oh, Gavin
And
Newsom, he's got experience, and
yeah, experience making people leave the state that used to be like the place that everyone dreamed of living.
everybody wanted to be in California, dude. I almost moved to California
Oh, did they? Gary said
15
baby
years,
Trump
10 years ago.
yeah, Gary said baby Trump inflatable. Did they bring that back in the UK? Did baby Trump make a reappearance? I thought that shit was funny as hell.
Hey,
Well, it was funny that pro Trump people in the
someone
UK,
shot it.
yeah, pro Trump people in the UK popped it. But again, I find that funny. Like, here's the difference. Trump laughed about that because it's not true. Trump is not a baby. Joe Biden is actually senile. Um, who else you got? I mean, Tulsi Gabbard's not a Democrat anymore.
She don't
RF,
have a chance though.
I know RFK Jr. is not a Democrat anymore technically because he left the party to run as an independent.
The
Who
Rock
else?
could run.
I'll be
And
honest.
and since he came out and literally finally changed his stance on Biden, and then you got freaking douchebag who was it? Jack Black. Well, I had to come out and help my president, and it's like, oh, okay, so your president wasn't doing well enough, so he had to use your platform. Yeah, tell me you're
Yeah.
not bought for now, you fat bitch.
Oh, did he say something about peaches? I love peaches. When I was
Man,
you
that
know when
just
I was.
irritates me because I love Jack Black. I'm
Yeah, I
just
know.
like, why are you doing this, dude? Why are you, dude? Your kids are gonna remember this.
Oh,
Oh, they're millionaires. They don't have to worry about money.
when I was growing up in when I was growing up in Georgia, we'd always go out to the we'd always go out to the peach fields. Anyway, and
We picked cotton and
my my dad said, Joey, how do you tell a good peach when you can see it starting to sprout out from the ground, and that's love, Joey. And yes, for those of you who are about to make fun of me for being stupid, yes, I know that peaches grow on trees. That was the joke.
millions of peaches.
Peaches for me?
But so who else? Like,
That's
there's no
that's what
one.
I'm thinking. I mean, you could tap Hillary Clinton or
You
Elizabeth
can pick
Warren
people,
or
but they're
yeah,
not
but here's
going
the
to
thing. But
contend.
here's the thing. Why would you pick Hillary Clinton? Trump already beat her when he was less popular, I would argue. Elizabeth Warren didn't even make it out of a Democratic primary. Bernie Sanders,
He's too
okay,
busy making his book deals.
here's the thing about Bernie, and I still maintain this. I think that if the Democratic Party hadn't snubbed Bernie in 2016, I think he
He would have
actually would
won.
have. I think he would have beat Donald Trump. Now, the reason being is because
And then we'd been in a worse situation now. But anyway,
but here's the thing, and this is what people don't really understand, is the president. Thankfully, the president has too much power, but fortunately, the president still doesn't have enough power to really dictate all that much directly. Now, with the help of Congress, they can pretty much run roughshod.
we've
But
got a lot of yes men in Congress right
you got a
now,
lot of yes men.
and it shows.
Didn't know that.
That's
I
the
didn't.
connection. It does that.
I didn't know I was interviewing Daffy Duck over there. Yes men.
Yours did that plenty of times.
Did it really?
Yeah. The connection, for some reason, it does that. It makes you like trail off like you're Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, I was saying the son of a bitch was outside my window and my husband was in there sucking his peener.
His cleaner.
Well, you can't
Oh
say it
fuck
properly.
me.
Her teeth were falling out. Peter,
Penis.
Peter, Peter,
Ah,
Peter.
damn it. I forgot to go live on TikTok too. Fuck it. Oh well. We'd have gotten kicked off anyway because we're talking shit about Joe Biden.
Yeah, I was gonna say my
Oh,
ass cheeks are hurting.
speaking of, though, I found this very funny. So Biden Harris HQ, which is the official Biden campaign channel on TikTok, every time they post a video, the number one comment I see is, "What app is this?"
That's funny.
It is beautiful. And I just gotta say, I don't know if you watched, I actually watched the whole testimony because it was hilarious. Ben Shapiro was part of a testimony for, I forget the committee now, but it's like, I forget the committee. But anyway, Ben Shapiro testified before Congress a couple of days ago, and God, it was so funny. He was like,
He
and
obliterated them. I saw some of
I
it.
don't know that he obliterated them because here's the thing: after watching all the
It's
testimony,
not hard.
they shouldn't have had a hearing on this because
No.
the grief or the grievance, I guess, was the fact that you've got a GARM, which is basically a an allegedly voluntary organization that businesses join to govern advertising standards and practices on the internet and social media. Now the thing is, both sides are technically right, but the whole thing was a shit show because everybody's just arguing their same political talking points. The grievance is that GARM and other organizations are purposefully snubbing conservative content creators when it comes to ad revenue. Well, not ad revenue. I'm sorry, ad sales and ad placement. Well, the thing of it is, I can actually understand why a lot of advertisers wouldn't want to advertise on a site like the Daily Wire or Fox News or this, that, and the other. It depends on the brand, right? And brands should be free to advertise wherever the fuck they want. However, what Ben kept bringing up is the fact that, yes, advertisers are free to advertise where they want, but the problem is we're not even being presented as an option if they're, unless they say specifically that they want to advertise with us. And there's been a lot of internal emails with people within Garn that aren't there anymore, talking about how they're snubbing conservative news sites. And the biggest problem is censorship, right? On these platforms, which the thing is, Garm does work with YouTube and Facebook, so Google and Meta, about, ad standards and practices. So if they have an influence on what's considered appropriate, then yeah, that could potentially hurt. conservative content creators. So I see both sides, but at the same time, I don't really know that Congress need to be involved in this. I would say just let businesses advertise where they want. And frankly, I get why. Now, here's the thing though. So if your product and your audience is right wing, Daily Wire is a great thing for you because Daily Wire listeners paid $5 for a bar of chocolate that tastes like ass.
It tastes like
It
ass.
tasted like ass, dude.
It tasted like feet.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. And I
It
think it
was
was
it
actually,
wasn't very good.
I think it was $8 because I remember, like, I bought the chocolate bars for a gag, and at the time I was even like, "Fuck, I'm not even sure I want to do this," but it was worth it for the gag. But
Yeah, that's.
I would never buy that, and they sold out though.
Did you try the not this is a different chocolate company, but do you remember Mr. Beast's Feastables?
No, I
Did
didn't
you
know. I don't
you
follow
try?
Mr. Beast.
Oh, well, I didn't know if you tried to try that. They're okay. I did. It's just not Hershey's. I don't care what anyone
That's what I'm
says.
saying. You can't. Like, Hershey's is it for me. Like I
If
know
Hershey's got rid of the high fructose corn syrup and went back to like cane sugar and figured out a way to get rid of the chemicals and this and that, like that would be fantastic, but it still tastes better.
it really does. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I've done is eliminate a lot of chemicals from my diet. And honestly, we don't use shampoo with chemicals anymore. I don't use deodorant with chemicals. My skin's gotten clearer. Granted, the injuries are from years of being stupid. My oh yeah, which we haven't really talked about why I've been gone.
Oh yeah,
I
it is
it's
labeled as
not
your
it's not like
triumphant
I
return.
mean, I don't know if it's a life-threatening thing. I mean, obviously sometimes it's take or go, but that's just anxiety. But I've got tons of discs in my spine and neck and in my hips or whatever. Like I don't know how to explain it. Stenosis. Have you ever heard of that?
Hmm.
Basically, the what is it? The nerves that go through my pelvis, the areas, the bone is closing in on them, and it causes like all kinds of crazy pain in my legs and whatnot. And I thought I had some neurological problems because hell, I can't speak properly anymore. Sometimes I'll be talking and I'm just like, you know the
You're under
thing.
national pressure.
But yeah, that's basically why I've been gone because for one, like even just sitting here for this past hour, my ass cheeks have been on fire the entire time. I've had to move around and this and that. But yeah, so that's why if anyone cares, I don't really care if you care, but now it's out there. Eat me.
But now we've got it not necessarily figured out, but you know what's going on, and you're doing some stuff. Which how has
Which
the
I've been doing DDP yoga, which helps a lot with basically when I wake up, I have trouble moving just starting. I gotta break free and whatnot, and so that's. I don't have any diagnosis other than just what the MRI says because specialist. I'm just now getting that stuff started, but it's I don't know. It could be RA or something like that, or some type of arthritis, or I hope. I don't know what else it could be, but we'll see. But yeah, I've been doing DDP yoga and just various stretches and just trying to stay as active as possible. But like, I'm not supposed to lift anything heavy, like at all. Um,
mm,
and I don't know, just a few other things. I go into the doctor's office and I kind of listen. Yeah, not very smart, but I get I don't know. I don't like going in there and then telling me that your shit's fucked up.
well, so
Oh, but anyway,
I was gonna ask you how the DDP yoga's been going.
it's going. I hurt, but I also, like I said, like I said to you a bit, I was like, I'm trusting the process because I don't expect to be comfortable right away, but I am sleeping better. I
That's good.
wasn't sleeping good at all, like at all. There was like 4 or 5 days in a row there. I maybe like 2, 3 hours a night, and if anyone who's never had like they've had inconsistent sleep for days on end, it's literally the most frustrating thing ever, and you're very irritable.
Yeah. Pearl actually said she broke her back in 3 places one time. Back pain is horrible, and they can't fix it.
Yeah, pretty much. And I've got what is it, like 3, 4 discs messed up in my spine, and then two in my neck, and then the spinal stenosis, and then I have extreme or not extreme, but a stenosis up here. I don't know. I got all kinds of stuff.
Oh, okay.
I'm still no metal in here though, so it's all 100% Eric still. No surgeries yet. I don't really want to do any. I'd rather just do stretches and whatnot because
If as long
everyone
as they
here
help,
gets
yeah.
surgery. They always say, "Well, that didn't work."
I mean,
Not all
I
every some of
I,
them do,
I,
but
I yeah, I think it just depends. But DDP is one of those people, which is why I thought it might help you because he was talking about how they kept telling him he was going to need surgery, spinal fusion surgery. And as far as I know, certainly the DVDs I gave you, by that time he had not had the surgery. And he said that it helped his back pain.
well, I'd also like to look into stem cells,
Yeah.
because for a lot of people actually going in for damaged discs in their neck and back and coming out, and there's like it's like I never even had any damage, and I'm just like, how? You can create your own stem cells. You just have to follow certain diets and what is it?
Well,
Fast.
you have stem cells, but you can what's the word I'm
You can
thinking about?
increase them,
You can instigate them. That's the word I was looking for. And fasting is a way to do that.
provoke them. Like, come
Provoke,
here.
yeah. I mean, that's essentially what you're doing. But actually, that's a perfect segue to one of our sponsors, Leading the Band. Are you a music nut? And do you want to make it in music, but you just don't know how to do it? Well, check out the Leading the Band podcast, another member of the Arte Podcast Network, where Virus Fox, lead singer of Again and Forever, Rachel Black, lead singer of Elena, and internet rapping sensation Meg Starr share with you stories about their careers in the music industry as well as processes that they've all gone through. In fact, I believe it was the first or second episode. I believe it was the first where Rachel actually goes on a 20-minute like lecture almost on how basically like making commercial music works and how you get paid for it and that kind of stuff. So it's very interesting, especially if you're into that. So that's Leading the Band. It's the second link in the description. And one weekend
I
at
love
horror.
food.
One weekend at Horrorland, the Goosebumps and Horror Convention being put forth by the Goosebumps Group Podcast, RT Media, and Forsan Corporation. We are currently in the fundraising stages, the first fundraising stages through Kickstarter. We still have some time to meet the goal. We need your help. And when we end the episode, we will play the promo video for you with more information. But to visit the Kickstarter and donate, you can visit first link in the description, as well as look at all the awesome rewards that you get along with your tickets and or virtual access when you donate. Any other thoughts on Trump being shot, or do we want to wrap this bad boy up?
No, just like that bullet whizzed by, gone.
Is done. Is done.
It's done. There's not really a whole lot to elaborate on it. I mean, it was just something done by an evil person, and they were taken out. End of
Yeah,
story.
but I think
Like
it presents.
it is a big thing. It's a very problematic thing, but I mean, at the end of the day, it happened. I mean, we just gotta figure out what the hell we're doing from here. I mean, is he going to be under attack all the time now from crazy lunatics? Like,
I
I mean, you
doubt.
guys are just showing your hand.
Yeah, I think probably not. But
But
what I'm waiting for, um, oh, Pearl says, all in my opinions, inside job, security was told and done nothing. Maybe, we went over that kind of at the beginning. Um, what I will be waiting to see is how many
pretty sad
Democrat,
somebody had to die for an inside job like that, though.
yeah, so it wasn't, well, if it was an inside job, it's still the government, so
Right.
so they can't do it right. Um, what I'll be waiting to see is how many Democratic lawmakers or politicians rather get caught saying things like, "Oh, he should have shot straighter" or something like that. Because again, the hubris of the left, they forget all the time that video cameras and smartphones are a thing, and that YouTube is a thing.
Well, that Harry Sisson or something
Well,
like that.
he's
Have you seen that
yeah,
guy?
yeah,
He's trying to like getting himself in trouble. It's like, dude, like some of the stuff he said, it's like you can't say that like
he's
at all. That's a threat.
It's my understanding that he's already on a list. So, and okay,
It
so
don't
speaking of
matter.
Harry Sisson though, and this is like this sounds bad, but it's
He's a
true.
fucking nobody. Where the hell did
Well,
this idiot
well,
come from?
not
He's
only that.
another. What's that guy from Parkland?
Oh, David Hogg,
Yeah, I was
but
like, man,
he's not
these
even. David Hogg at least has a leg to stand on.
sort of.
Well, he was. Well, okay, actually, he wasn't
He
there, but
wasn't there.
he went to school there.
Yeah, I know, right?
I almost said he
But
was
anyway,
there, but I'm
I
like, oh wait, he
digress.
wasn't
I'll leave
there.
it alone.
Well, no, but here's the thing about Harry Sisson. Why does he always like look like he just got slapped?
Because someone's trying to slap some sense into him, and it's
Well,
not
no, but he
working.
always, and as somebody who has like rosy cheeks a lot, he looks like such a little bitch. Grow a fucking beard
But that's what happens when you're on the left,
when
and
you're on estrogen.
you just have no testosterone.
Yeah, I just found
I
it
mean,
because
you talk like this.
he was on Piers Morgan's show and he was like, I don't know what speech you were watching. I think, and then they played him a fucking clip. Like he's to the point of delusion. Like he's got to be being paid because nobody's that delusional
Oh,
in real life.
absolutely. Absolutely. That's like the Harry you said, dude, if literally there have been people who have decent followings on social media and they come out and they're literally talking about how they've received emails for people offering them money to endorse certain candidates. And obviously you can't, you know, make sure any of this is true, but it is what it is. Oh, you ready to end this thingy?
I am. This has been the Average Intelligence
Ah,
Podcast. Hopefully, you're a little bit less average and a little bit more intelligent. What's funny is I almost flipped those two on accident, which, to be fair, is probably what's going to happen, but you can't blame us for all of it. But as promised, here's the promotional video for One Weekend at Horrorland, and we will see all of you next week at our regularly scheduled time. We're normally actually we might change the time. We got to figure that out. We're normally at 6:30 p.m., but we might change that. But we will see you guys next week. And here is Horrorland. And for some reason, it's not working.
Hey there, Goosebumps fans. Are you ready for the ultimate horror-filled adventure? Well, listen up, because I got some exciting news for you. As a cover artist for the Goosebumps franchise, I've seen firsthand how this amazing series has captured the hearts of readers for years. And now it's time to bring our spooky world to life like never before. Introducing One Weekend at Horrorland, the biggest Goosebumps convention ever. But here's the catch, we need your help to make it happen. That's right, we're calling on all you diehard Goosebumps fans to join us on our Kickstarter campaign and help donate towards this incredible event. With your donations, we'll transform One Weekend at Horrorland into a mesmerizing celebration of all things Goosebumps. You'll have a chance to meet some of your favorite authors and artists, dive into some thrilling interactive experiences, and even get your hands on some limited edition Goosebumps merchandise. Trust me, it's going to be epic. Don't miss out on this exciting opportunity to become a part of the Goosebumps family. So head over to our Kickstarter page and let's make One Weekend at Horrorland a reality. Save the date and let's make this convention a sleeves-turning success. Thanks.